Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Spurs Up Show, best Gamecocks podcast on the internet. Today is Tuesday, March the 30th, 2021. On today's show, I break down tonight's game as Gamecocks baseball takes on the Gardner-Webb Runnin Bulldogs on a Tuesday night at Founders Park as South Carolina looks to extend their winning streak to 6 straight wins. Guys, I'll break down the game in its entirety. We'll talk Gardner-Webb, their pitching, their hitting. Also, of course, talk South Carolina, who's getting the start tonight, what to watch for, key player for tonight. I'll give my prediction as well. Also, we got some news and notes to touch on, including South Carolina baseball jumping up in the rankings. Also, it is game day for Gamecocks women's basketball as Dawn Staley and company take on the Texas Longhorns tonight at 7 o'clock as South Carolina looks to punch its ticket to the Final Four. Guys, we got a packed show here on a Tuesday, and it's all brought to you by our friends over at Upstate Movers Group. Guys, Upstate Movers Group, superior moving service. They bring care and attention other companies can't offer because they're just too busy maintaining trucks and profiting off of them instead of focusing on service. Guys, service is what separates Upstate Movers Group from the competition. They're not a trucking company. They're a moving services company, and they're also employee-owned co-op. Their movers are paid twice the industry average, and everyone on the crew is invested in your success. They have dedicated professional crew members, and they also offer black glove service. They offer end-to-end packing services, custom crating and packaging for special items, and cleaning services as well. They're founded by Greenville natives and University of South Carolina alumni, guys, so a Gamecock-owned small business. They also offer 20 years of project management moving experience, and they can offer logistics and solutions that traditional moving companies simply do not have the skills for. Guys, whether you're in the upstate or across the state of South Carolina, if you have any moving needs in 2021, be sure to check out our friends over at Upstate Movers Group. You can find them on social media at Upstate Movers Group, or of course, if you have any other questions, go to their website, upstatemoversgroup.com. That's upstatemoversgroup.com. Be sure to check them out and tell them Chris from the Spurs Up Show sent you. The show is also brought to you by our friends over at MyBookie. Guys, March is here. The madness has begun. It's time for you to shoot your shot and score big on the nonstop action with MyBookie. Guys, it doesn't matter whether you're filling up multiple brackets, betting the national championship winner, or simply looking for player and game props, MyBookie has you covered. Guys, you can sign up today at mybookie.ag and use promo code Gamecocks. Again, that's promo code Gamecocks to secure a deposit bonus up to $1,000. And guys, make sure again that you use my promo code so they know that I hooked you up. Again, that's promo code Gamecocks to claim your first deposit bonus. Guys, college ball, NBA, NHL, no matter the sport, no matter the minute, MyBookie puts the action in your hands with in-game live betting. And guys, with choices from thousands of lines and odds, you can turn any game day into payday. Guys, bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Let's get it. Yo, what is up, guys? I'm Chris Phillips, host of the Spurs Up Show. As always, appreciate you guys tuning in. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Happy Tuesday to you all again, whether you're on the commute, you're in the office, you're in class, you got the day off, whatever it may be. I know for all the students, by the way, all the students out there, today is a mental health day for South Carolina students. So there's no classes today for the University of South Carolina. So I hope you guys are all enjoying that, having your mental health day, whatever that might mean for you. I don't know if that's a pool day, if that's a darty day, whatever it is, whatever the students are doing now, it's kind of crazy. Like they've got these built-in mental health days, and it all sounds really nice, but they didn't have a spring break for the South Carolina students. So basically, they just spread out spring break all throughout the semester. So all students are doing now is just like partying and raging and going crazy. So I'm sure Monday night in 5 Points was electric. I'm sure it was great. It was lit. So all my friends that work in food and beverage down there, I'm sure they really benefited from it. But no, it's kind of interesting. You know what else I was thinking about today, guys, before we dive into everything? Again, my mind's been racing today. This time next week, we will be just a couple of days from the official beginning of the Masters. And if anybody knows me, I'm a pretty big golf guy. Like, I'm not a crazy golf guy, but I grew up in North Augusta. Like, The Masters is very, very near and dear to me and very special to me. And with last year getting postponed, and we had the fall Masters, which was cool and was fine or whatever. But if there's any big golf guys out there listening to this, just know that I'm fired up. I'm very fired up for next week. There will be golf talk on this podcast next week. So, again, just brace yourselves. But, yeah, very excited for that. It's crazy, man. April is literally just a couple of days away. It's wild. 2021 is flying by. But, again, very excited to chat with you guys today. We got a lot to get into here on a Tuesday. It's a big game day show here on a Tuesday with baseball, with women's basketball. We got a lot to dive into, so let's go ahead and get right into it. As South Carolina baseball hosts the Gardner-Webb Runnin Bulldogs, not just the Bulldogs, by the way, it's the Runnin Bulldogs, the Gardner-Webb Runnin Bulldogs at Founders Park, 7 o'clock first pitch on the SEC Network Plus. So if you get that, if you're streaming it, SEC Network Plus is where you can watch that game, 7 o'clock first pitch. The Gardner-Webb Runnin Bulldogs out of the Big South. Their head coach is Jim Chester. In 2021 this season, Gardner-Webb is 7-9 overall with a 6-4 conference record. They've actually won 4 straight games. And by the way, guys, here's a little funny side note for you. So I played at Newberry from 2009 to 2012. My freshman season at Newberry, that would have been the spring of 2010. We actually played Gardner-Webb. And again, Newberry's a Division II school, right? We played Gardner-Webb somehow. And I don't know if Gardner-Webb had just jumped up to D1 or, if they had been there a while, but they weren't very good. We actually played Gardner-Webb at home. They came to us, if that tells you anything about their program and I guess what they thought of themselves at that time. But Gardner-Webb came to us. We actually beat them. So Division II Newberry beat Division I Gardner-Webb. And that year, my freshman year, by the way, guys, I think we won like 18 games. Like, we were terrible. My head coach got fired. We were awful that year at Newberry, and we still ended up beating Gardner-Webb. So not that means anything for this game, but just a memory that I have of the Gardner-Webb Runnin Bulldogs. But again, they're 7-9 this year, 6-4 in the conference, won 4 straight. Let's take a look at their pitching and hitting, guys. We'll start on the pitching side of things. A 5.32 team ERA, been sort of a rough go at it for the Bulldogs. By the way, they're actually coming off of a series sweep against High Point. So, again, things morale high with Gardner-Webb right now. But a 5.32 team ERA, ups and downs on the bump, if you will. They're starting right-handed pitcher Noah Davis. He's 0-0 with a 4.15 ERA. And get this, guys, this dude, the thing that stands out with Noah Davis, it isn't his statistics, it's his measurables. This dude is 6'8". So, a guy with solid stuff and is throwing okay for them, but is going to look like an absolute monster on the mound for the Runnin Bulldogs. 6'8". That is freaking huge. So they'll start Noah Davis on the mound tonight. As far as the hitting side of things, this is where things get really interesting for Gardner-Webb because they're hitting .238 as a team. That is struggling. That is struggling. Through 16 games, hitting .238. Their players to watch for: outfielder Mitch McClendon. He's leading the team with a .279 batting average, does have 3 home runs and 8 RBIs. Also, infielder Ben Laspoluto. I might be completely butchering that last name, but again, infielder Ben Laspoluto hitting .276 with 3 homers and 9 RBIs to his credit. And then infielder and catcher KG Parkhurst hitting .237, but he leads the team with 4 home runs and 13 RBIs. And again, you hear those names and you hear those numbers, you think to yourself, man, maybe they hit a lot of home runs. Get this. This team, this Gardner-Webb team is combined. They have 13 total home runs on the season. Those 3 guys have 10 of them. So those are the big 3 guys for Gardner-Webb you got to watch for, at least on the hitting side of things. All right, let's talk a little bit about South Carolina, guys. Starting pitcher tonight, I was really intrigued to see this. Jack Mahoney will be getting the ball for the Gamecocks to start. You guys remember, obviously, he's come out of the bullpen all season long and pitched Friday briefly for South Carolina. Did come out of the bullpen, but did not throw after that this weekend. So I'd assume, again, they want to get Jack some work. And, again, he's thrown the ball extremely well for South Carolina this year. Really excited to watch him sling it. So, again, Jack Mahoney, the true freshman, will get the start for South Carolina tonight at Founders Park. All right, let's move into what to watch for when it comes to this one. Because, again, I know a lot of us are looking at this game, this midweek game against Gardner-Webb, coming off of the series sweep against Florida and thinking to ourselves, we should just win this game 20-0. Gardner-Webb sucks. Like, we're all high and mighty and great and whatever, and we're just going to roll our helmets out there and win. And that's the first thing. That's the top thing probably that I'm looking for in this game is just how does this team respond after a weekend sweep of the Florida Gators? Because, again, it's funny to watch this season and see how things have unfolded with, you win 11 straight and morale is like through the roof. Everybody thinks you're going to Omaha. You're the greatest thing ever. And then you lose 5 straight. You lose 6 straight, and, everybody's saying, oh, you're terrible, you suck, this, that, whatever. We're not even going to make the postseason. And now you've won 5 straight. And I think we're kind of back to, oh, we're the greatest thing ever. We're going to Omaha. It's just like funny, the ups and downs of college baseball for sure. But I'll just be curious to see, because, again, we've seen this team come out in a midweek game against Davidson and I think not have the right approach and the right mentality and the right intensity that you should have every time you put on that garnet and black. And I talked about that the last time after South Carolina lost to Davidson. And I think Mark Kingston made a great point of this. I believe it was last week, in the sense of, it's only human nature, and especially when you're dealing with 18 to 22-year-olds, you have a tendency to, when things are going well, you tend to feel a little bit better about yourself than you probably should. And when things are going poorly, you tend to feel a little bit worse about yourself than you probably should. What makes the greats great? What makes those guys in the MLB, for example, guys? What makes Ronald Acuna and Ozzie Albies and Max Fried and Bryce Harper and Mike Trout? And I can just keep going on and on the list of names. But what makes those guys so great is their ability to, through the wins and through the losses, remain the same exact player, remain the same exact person. They don't let the praise and the accolades and the pats on the back and people telling them how great they are, they don't let it get to them. And they also don't let the people that tell them how much they suck and they don't belong at that level and they're this, they're that, they don't let those people get to them either. There's a lot of people telling this Gamecocks baseball team right now how great they are. And again, I've been saying it all year. I've been saying it before the season even started, how good I feel about this team. But there's a lot of people right now patting them on the back and telling them how great they are. And, oh, you shoot back up the rankings and you're getting all the articles written about you and all the cool Instagram posts and the videos. And you got people like me, pumping them up after the weekend. And we're all, dogging on Florida and getting on them, whatever. And that's all fine and dandy. We should be doing that. It's fun to do that. I love doing that, whatever. But this team overall, I think it's really, really important for this team. Again, I want to just see a ball club that approaches this game tonight against Gardner-Webb the same way they approached all 3 games against Florida. I want to see the same intensity, the same energy, the same focus. I want to see the same ball club show up, basically. And again, I don't really worry about that with this team because I like the leadership, obviously, as I talked about many, many times. I like Andrew Eister and Brady Allen and Wes Clark and guys like Thomas Farr and Brandon Jordan. I think you've got a really nice mix of young guys too, and Sanders and Mahoney and Phipps and Braylon Wimmer, even I'd still count as a young guy, and just guys that get it, right? They're going to show up each and every single day and handle their business. But how does this team, again, like I said, how does this team respond after that weekend sweep? Because again, this is a game, like I've talked about before, baseball is a humbling game, and there's 2 types of people, those who are humbled and those who are about to be. And you don't want to be on the side of we're about to be humbled, right? So again, I just want to see a team come out and approach this thing the right way, because there's nobody out there that thinks Gardner-Webb's more talented than South Carolina. And I even look back to last week, when you played the Citadel, I think this game tonight is all about South Carolina. You know what I mean? This game tonight's all about the Gamecocks. And if they go out there and handle their business and take care of their business and do what they do best, the results are going to handle themselves. I don't even look at this game the way I looked at Citadel last week, in the sense of I really believe Citadel's a high-quality ball club. And with all due respect to Gardner-Webb, I'm just going to call it like I see it. I don't think they're a very good baseball team. They're obviously not on the level of South Carolina. This is a team, Gardner-Webb, that actually got swept by Georgia a few weeks ago, who the Gamecocks play this weekend in Athens. So how does this team respond and continue to build, I should say, off of what it did over the weekend against the Florida Gators? I'll be interested to see that. Another thing I'll be watching for, I talked about Jack Mahoney getting the start in this one. And what that tells me is, I know fans really enjoyed last week Will Sanders getting the start. A lot of the conversation was about the Johnny Holstaff mentality and, would South Carolina roll with Will Sanders for 5, 6, 7 innings, or would it be another instance where a lot of guys throw 1 inning and all that? And, I know a lot of fans, got annoyed with that Johnny Holstaff approach. But with Jack Mahoney getting the start tonight, I do think it's going to be a Johnny Holstaff type of game. Again, does Jack Mahoney only go 1? It wouldn't surprise me if he went 2 or 3 innings for South Carolina. But you think, guys, there are a lot of guys that need to touch the baseball tonight. I think of guys who I expect to see throw. I'm thinking John Gilreath, Mag Cotto, Jackson Phipps, maybe Cam Tringali, Parker Coyne, Brett Thomas, CJ Wines. I mean, there are a lot of guys. Josiah Seitler hadn't thrown in a while. There are a lot of guys who need to touch the baseball, who I think Mark Kingston, Skylar Meade want to touch the baseball and get them some work. Because like I told you guys, it's extremely important to get those guys work, because once you get into the postseason, once we get down the road, you get to Hoover and you get to the regionals, and if you're fortunate enough to go to the Supers, and if you're fortunate enough to go to Omaha, like, you're going to have that pitching depth. I mean, you think outside of your starters this past weekend against Florida, outside of Thomas Farr, Brandon Jordan, and Will Sanders, think about the arms you used. You didn't use that many. You used Mahoney, you used Danny Lloyd, you used Andy Peters, you used Julian Bosnick, and you used Brett Carey. You used 5 guys. Like, do you realize how many pitchers you have on this team? You only used 5 guys. So I think they're going to want to get a lot of arms out there, get a lot of different guys working. Again, you'd like to believe that, a night like tonight against Gardner-Webb, you'll be able to do that and do it successfully. And again, this is a Gardner-Webb team, like I said, guys, that's hitting 238. I mean, Gamecock pitchers should feast on this lineup. There's no question to ask. Let's look at their strikeouts real quick, by the way. They have struck out, let's see, Gardner-Webb has struck out 164 times in 16 games. Guys, they're averaging 10 strikeouts per game, over 10 strikeouts per game. We're talking about a Gamecocks pitching staff that's either leading or damn near the top in strikeouts per game in the country on the pitching side of things. So again, I'd expect to see a lot of arms tonight for South Carolina. I think there's a lot of guys that they want to get work and that I think simply need to get work. And it'll all start with Jack Mahoney, of course, as he gets the start. On that note, too, I'm talking about all the arms we're going to see. Something else I'll be watching for is just how much shuffling do we see in the lineup? Because again, I think there's a lot of guys that, have not seen the field of late, and you want to keep momentum going, which is going to be my next point. And you want to keep, getting your guys ABs, guys like Brady Allen, Eister, Wes Clark, all that good stuff. But I also think a night like tonight serves as an opportunity to get some other guys looks, give them opportunities, put them in situations that, you give them a chance to see, hey, maybe this could be a guy that helps us out down the road. Maybe it's a guy that come off the bench and can help us out. I think of guys like a Jalen Vasquez, like a Brandon Fields, I know we're all very high on. I think of a guy like Noah Myers. It's crazy. I saw a picture on Instagram or something like that. It was Noah Myers. I almost forgot he was on the team because he hadn't played all season long. I mean, you think of Noah Myers, you think of Connor Sino behind the plate. You think of Michael Robinson, you think of Joe Satterfield. There's a lot of guys on this team that I think on the bench can help you. And I think tonight gives you the perfect opportunity to get those guys in the lineup, get them some looks, get them some at-bats. And obviously, again, one of the big things, of course, hinges on, if you can take care of your business and you can get up early and have success early and build yourself a nice lead, then you can see those guys in the lineup. So you got to, your starters have got to take care of their business and go out there and give you a little bit of a cushion to work with, if you will. But I'll be interested to see just how much, if any, shuffling is there in the lineup. Because again, I think there's a lot of guys who aren't playing right now that can help this team in some capacity, and they just simply haven't gotten the opportunity. Because again, on the weekends against Florida, Vandy, Texas, LSU, Mississippi State, that's not the time to get cute and try different guys and put them in situations. And, you got to roll with your best 9. You got to roll with your best arms. When you face a team like Gardner-Webb, and against with all due respect to the Runnin Bulldogs. And by the way, somebody pointed out in the Daily Crow that I say with all due respect a lot. So I don't know. Maybe that's just one of my things. But seriously, with all due respect to the Runnin Bulldogs, I say that this is a great opportunity tonight to get a lot of different guys looks, get some different guys some ABs, get some different guys some time on the mound. Because, again, you feel like, you are just that much better than Gardner-Webb, and you should be able to take care of business no matter who's out there with your SEC talent. So, again, just how much shuffling do we see in the lineup? Something I'll be really, really interested to see tonight. And then finally, guys, what I'm watching for, and I sort of mentioned it in my last point, but just keeping the momentum rolling. Again, it's crazy how this season has been so up and down, with winning 11 straight, losing 6 straight, winning 5 straight. it's wild, to be honest. And you're coming off of course, a huge weekend, a huge momentum building weekend where you sweep the 5th ranked team in the country, you sweep the Florida Gators, you're back to 4-2 in SEC play. You got a big SEC weekend upcoming this weekend. I know it's Georgia, and they're not, obviously they're not the level of Florida or Vandy, but still, anytime you're taking on Georgia in any sport, I don't care what it is, it's a big weekend. And oh, by the way, you go to their place, you go to Athens. And again, we all know in SEC baseball, you can't sleep on anybody. Anybody can beat anybody on any given weekend. You want to see a team tonight that, again, goes out, takes care of business, and keeps momentum rolling. Like I told you guys before, momentum is a fickle mistress, right? You got Uncle Mo in your dugout. Find a way to keep him there. Carry him over into the night. Get yourself a big win. Continue to have the positive vibe, stay high vibe, and carry that into this weekend in Athens when you take on the Georgia Bulldogs. So, again, really excited for the game tonight. Let's move into key player for tonight. And I've gone back and forth on this one a little bit. But to me, the biggest thing in a game like this is, like I said, all due respect to Gardner-Webb, you feel like and you're the better team. But how do you give – what normally happens in a midweek game when teams lose? The pitching falters, especially their starters, right? You let a team like Gardner-Webb score a couple in the first couple innings, and they're hanging around, and all of a sudden you look in the 7th inning, it's a tight ball game. It's a 1-run ball game. It's a tie ball game, or God forbid you're down. So I think getting a quality start out of Jack Mahoney, again, a true freshman, and you love his stuff up against this Gardner-Webb lineup, but just getting a quality start out of Jack Mahoney, having him go out there and do his thing and handle his business, I think will be key for this team. So, again, my key player for tonight, it is right-handed pitcher and starter Jack Mahoney. Again, I think it's just pivotal for him to get off to a good start. Again, keep the momentum rolling, give you guys an opportunity in the dugout in your lineup to put you up early, give you an early lead, and sort of establish, hey, this is going to be a fun night at the ballpark. So, again, key player for tonight is right-handed pitcher Jack Mahoney, who will be getting the start tonight at Founders Park. All right, guys, let's move to my prediction. And again, I'm going to spare you guys the dramatics here. I think South Carolina obviously is a much, much better team than Gardner-Webb. And this game tonight is all about South Carolina. And in the sense of, if this team goes out there, comes out with the right attitude, handles its business, this one won't be close. I think the Gamecocks, obviously, again, are a superior baseball team. There's a lot of momentum rolling right now. And your number one priority and the number one thing you want to do tonight against Gardner-Webb is you just want to keep that momentum going. Continue to take good at bats, continue to have solid approaches, do your thing on the bump. Obviously, the pitching has absolutely taken care of itself. And again, if you're fortunate enough, get a lot of different guys looks. I'd love to see a guy like Brandon Fields get an at bat. I'd love to see, Noah Myers get a look, or see a guy like Connor Sino behind the plate get a look. And I'd love to see, we saw that a little bit last week against the Citadel when you got up big. And later in that game, we saw some guys come in. I'd love to see Michael Robinson and Joe Satterfield get a look, and just some of these other guys get opportunities. Because, again, you're going to need all these guys when it comes to the postseason. It comes later in the year. Hey, you never know what can happen with COVID or injuries or whatever. You're going to need all of these guys on your roster. And, again, I think there's a lot of guys on the bench that can help you out. But, again, this is a Gamecocks baseball team that is feeling itself right now, is feeling good. Obviously, you've got a ton of momentum. You've won 5 in a row. You're coming off that weekend sweep over Florida. And I think this team, like I said, the biggest thing is this. I trust the leadership on this team, that this team will come out. They've had their hiccup. They've had their boo-boo against Davidson, right? Where I still don't even think that team came out and wasn't locked in or ready. You just got beat that night. But again, this team will come out ready to play. This team will come out focused. This team will come out looking to build and continue to build momentum in a winning streak. And I think the bats are very, very hot at Founders Park. I think the Cocks are hot right now. I think the bats stay hot. I'm taking a look at the weather. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a warm night at Founders Park, and yours truly will be there. Yeah, highest 75, lowest 61. I think the ball will be flying all over Founders Park, and I think the Gamecocks have an offensive explosion early, and I do think you see a lot of guys get in the lineup, a lot of different guys get on the mound. Like South Carolina, I think, will cruise to a victory. I got the Gamecocks winning this game 14-2 over the Gardner-Webb Runnin Bulldogs. Again, I know that's a big score, but I really do believe in this South Carolina team. I think they're going to handle business in the midweek, and I think they're going to go out there and do their thing and have a lot of fun doing it. So, again, I've got South Carolina winning this game tonight. Gamecocks 14, Gardner-Webb 2. Again, South Carolina looking to extend its winning streak to 6 straight games. Again, guys, first pitch, 7 o'clock at Founders Park. If you can't be there, it's going to be on SEC Network Plus. So you can stream it there. Really, really excited for the game. All right, let's move into news and notes really quickly before we wrap things up, guys. And I want to start with South Carolina baseball being ranked 14th in the latest D1Baseball.com poll. Gamecocks jumped 11 spots in that poll and are ranked ahead of, guess who? The Florida Gators, who fall to 15th. Tough look for Florida. Tough look, especially after the antics this weekend. But again, South Carolina ranked 14th in the D1Baseball.com poll. Also, it is game day. South Carolina taking on the Texas Longhorns. Game day for women's basketball. Dawn Staley's crew looking to punch their ticket to the Final Four. Tip-off tonight at 7 o'clock. I don't know why. We're getting so unlucky with these tip-off times. They're making these tip-off times the exact same time as baseball, and it's just absolutely killing me. But again, South Carolina taking on Texas. The interesting storyline in this one is Mississippi State's old coach, Vic, I forget his name, but Vic something. But anyways, Mississippi State's old coach, who Dawn Staley and South Carolina have done many, many battles with, he is the head coach at Texas. So that, of course, causes a lot of intrigue, causes a lot of, extracurricular in regards to storylines and things to look for and stuff like that. But again, I have a ton of faith in this Gamecocks basketball team. You know, we all thought it was going to be Maryland that South Carolina was going to be facing, and I know a lot of people were picking Maryland to go far, maybe even beat South Carolina. I have full faith in Dawn Staley and this Gamecock squad. They'll take care of business against Texas and punch their ticket to the Final Four. But again, tip-off for that one is 7 o'clock. Should be a lot of fun. I have no worries when it comes to Dawn Staley and that crew. I don't worry about Gamecocks women's basketball. They're going to do their thing. They're going to do their thing. Like I said before, wake me up when we get to the Final Four. And, hey, we only got one more game to go to get there. So, South Carolina, Texas tonight, 7 o'clock, should be a lot of fun. But, guys, again, that's going to do it all for me. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Like I said, guys, I'll be at Founders Park tonight for the game as the Gamecocks take on Gardner-Webb. So, again, if you'll be there, if you're going to be out and about, say what's up. Would love to chat with you guys. I'd love to talk Gamecocks. But other than that, go Cox, beat Gardner-Webb, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.